So, yeah, sorry. So first of all, sorry I can't be there in person. I really would have been there, but just got back from the States last night, so that obviously meant I couldn't attend. But really happy to be doing this presentation here on the FBI agent Bob Barrett, who seemed to get around up quite a bit on the assassination weekend. Kind of when I spoke to Neil a few weeks ago about doing a presentation, I was kind of wondering what I could do it on, and when I was doing my Walker deep dive over the last year or two, Barrett's name seemed to come up a few times, so I thought maybe doing a little bit of a look at him might be quite interesting. So I would say that I've not had a lot of time to kind of do a massive deep dive. So what I'm doing here is really just giving a bit of an overview of Barrett, and it may be that this will just set up a bit more of a deep dive that I can do, in the months to come. So what I'm going to do here, it's really going to be in three parts. Part one, I'll just give a very brief background on the FBI agent Bob Barrett, and then a bit more time spent on his, if you like, assassination weekend, where he was, what he was up to. And in part three, I'm just going to focus in on maybe three controversy stroke mysteries around the assassination that involve Mr. Barrett. I'm just going to break it down into those three sections. So yeah, and actually maybe with one of those mysteries might actually be able to clear something up that has been quite controversial. So just in terms of a bit of background, Robert Michael Barrett was born on the 28th of July 1926. He was born in the city of Milwaukee in Wisconsin and served in the US Navy on the USS Birmingham during World War II. He was a student at the University of Notre Dame and graduated in 1950. Coincidentally, James Hosty of the FBI, whose name will come up later in this presentation, was also a graduate of that university, I think the year before Barrett graduated. The two of them were pretty close. Barrett joined the FBI in 1952 and said that he was always proud to be an FBI agent. He said that he joined primarily because of the starting salary, which was around $5,500, which I understand is around $60,000 in today's money. He was transferred to Dallas, Texas around 1956, maybe 1957, and he was part of the criminal squad. So initially he investigated areas around interstate transportation of obscene materials, pornography, prostitution, etc. But after the Appalachian meeting of the mob bosses that took place around New York in November 1957, that was attended by Joseph Chiavello of Dallas. And after that meeting, Barrett got more into investigating organised crime around the Dallas area. During that time, he did encounter Jack Ruby on a few occasions, and he referred to Ruby as a very volatile and bombastic individual. But strangely, he didn't believe that Ruby was in the mafia, which is quite hard to accept given what we know about Ruby now. When it was known that JFK was coming to Dallas in November '63, Barrett was instructed to contact any informants to see if anybody had any information that could assist the Secret Service. But Barrett had no useful information to pass on. And he actually said that he voted for JFK and described him as the only Democrat that he ever voted for. So his assassination weekend, on the day of the assassination, Barrett had just had lunch and he was driving from Richardson to downtown Dallas when he heard on the FBI radio what had happened in Dealey Plaza. Richardson's a kind of inner suburb of Dallas. It's about maybe 14, 15 miles north of the city, with a population of over 100,000. It takes about 20 or 25 minutes to drive from Richardson to downtown Dallas. So Barrett says that the FBI policy at the time, if there was a national event or a crisis, was for the FBI to observe and only offer assistance to local authorities, not participate, and then report back the facts to the Bureau. So when Barrett heard about the incident in Dealey Plaza, he headed there and he parked behind the Texas School Book Depository. He then encountered a Dallas police detective he knew called H.L. Hart, who asked for his assistance searching the book depository. Barrett gave an oral history interview to the sixth floor museum, and he said that he searched the basement. He said he was also on the sixth floor searching. The rifle had not been found by the time he left the sixth floor. I think the rifle was found around 120 or 122, something like that. But in his time on the sixth floor, they were still searching. He left the sixth floor and he was standing at the front door of the depository when he met Sheriff Bill Decker, who he was very well acquainted with. And whilst they were in conversation, they heard on the police radio that an officer had been shot at 10th and Patton. Decker had looked around for some of his deputies, but he couldn't find any. So he asked Barrett to go over to 10th and Patton and check out what was going on.